Kelly Ripa raised an eyebrow this week when her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, made a striking remark about what he called parasitic relationships with him, prompting playful but genuine concern from Ripa as she asked, "Are you talking about me?" The exchange unfolded on their daytime program, Live with Kelly and Mark, during a conversation about relationships, both real and parasocial, and it quickly became a memorable moment for the long-married couple. The conversation began innocently enough. The pair were discussing the Cambridge Dictionary's recent selection of the word parasocial as its word of the year. As Ripa explained, a parasocial relationship refers to the one-sided emotional connection that many people form with public figures or fictional characters when fans feel as though they know a celebrity even though the relationship is entirely asymmetrical. Ripa offered a lighthearted example. She confessed she once felt she had a parasocial bond with the shark in the film Jaws. She laughed as she described rooting for the shark, even as it was repeatedly attacked, lamenting how they blew him up and calling the punishment aggressive, noting that the shark was just doing shark things. Consuelos, amused, gently teased her for having that kind of sympathy for a movie monster. That playful banter paved the way for a more serious admission from Consuelos. He turned to his wife and said, "I think sometimes people have a parasitic relationship with me." He meant it as a joke, a twist on the parasocial concept, but Ripa's reaction made it clear she was taken aback. "How dare you? Are you talking about me?" she asked in mock indignation, her voice tinged with concern. For over 25 years of marriage, their banter has been affectionate and teasing, but Ripa's question carried a real warmth. Was her husband suggesting she was feeding off him, or that others were? Consuelos quickly backpedaled, assuring her no. He emphasized that he did not mean his wife as one of those parasites. It was a throwaway joke, he said, but one that revealed something deeper. Even after decades together, they are comfortable exploring the complicated terrain of emotional dependency, affection, and the odd dynamics of fame. Indeed, much of the segment centered not on romantic relationships, but on the nature of parasocial bonds, how audiences build real emotional connections with people on screen, even if they've never met them. Consuelos acknowledged that many people meet Ripa in public after watching her on television for years, and tell her things like, "You're my best friend." Ripa didn't reject that. She admitted she feels that way, too, toward the show's audience. "They've grown up together," she said. "They've shared family stories, life chapters, ups and downs." Still, Consuelos went further with his reflection. While he recognizes that fans may have one-sided, even idealized relationships with Ripa, he sometimes senses a more exploitative undercurrent in how people relate to him. Parasitic relationship is a somewhat strong phrase, and it raises the question, what does he truly mean by it? Is it a metaphor or a warning, spoken in jest, but rooted in real discomfort? For Ripa, the moment was an invitation to clarify and reassure. Her question, though playful, signals a desire to understand and not to be placed in that parasitic category. Their back and forth testifies to a long marriage built on openness, where even potentially uncomfortable topics get aired in public. It's clear that for both of them, humor is a tool, but honesty is still the foundation. What makes the exchange particularly interesting is how it folds back into the bigger conversation about parasocial relationships. While most commonly discussed in relation to fans and celebrities, in this context, Consuelos was reapplying the metaphor to suggest a more mutual, more emotionally fraught dynamic, that sometimes relationships, even in real life, feel one-sided and draining. Psychologists define parasocial relationships as one-sided relationships where one party extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Here, Consuelos playfully adapted that idea, but by calling it parasitic, he hinted that there may be costs to these connections, perhaps to him personally. Ripa, for her part, responded not with defensiveness, but with laughter tinged by curiosity. Her reaction underscored the comfort they have with each other. She could ask, "Are you talking about me?" without making it a big fight. The laughter that followed felt familiar, grounded in years of banter and complicity, but also genuine in its warmth. This moment also served as a rare glimpse behind the curtain of celebrity and co-hosting life. By openly discussing a concept so tied to fame, parasociality, they created a bridge between their world and viewers' lives. Fans watching live may feel seen, their emotional investment is acknowledged, even teased, but not entirely dismissed. Moreover, Consuelos' remark reflects a self-awareness often missing from public personas. He recognized not just that people project feelings onto him, but that in some cases, people may rely on him, emotionally or socially, in a way that feels parasitic. It's a nuanced admission, weaving together humor and introspection, vulnerability and performance. In the end, Ripa's quick rebound, "How dare you?" was delivered with the kind of jest that only someone deeply familiar with another person could use. But it also mattered. It implied a desire not merely to laugh, but to understand. And Consuelos' swift response, no, affirmed that she was not who he had in mind. As they moved on to other topics, the atmosphere remained light, their chemistry intact. But that short exchange will likely linger with viewers. It acts as a reminder that celebrity isn't just about adoration. It can also involve complicated emotional ties, dependence, and even criticism masquerading as praise. In a world where public figures are often dehumanized or placed on pedestals, that moment on Live with Kelly and Mark was refreshingly human. It showed a couple comfortable enough to joke about emotional dynamics, but honest enough to confront them when needed. It exposed how fame can distort relationships, making some feel parasocial, others parasitic, and how, even in the glare of cameras, real intimacy can persist.